Today we'll be talking about Lace, the biggest antagonist we've seen so far in Hollow Knight Silksong. For this video, I went deep into the Silksong fandom to see with what Lace related stuff they have come up with. But it was mostly porn, so after bleaching my eyes I decided to come up with a theory of my own. A theory which could end up changing the whole course of the game. Lace is introduced as a character that, on a surface level, has many similarities with Hornet from the original Hollow Knight. And from a story perspective it certainly makes sense. Hornet also starts off wanting to fight the main character of the game, and also fights him later on, which is also supposedly the same way in Silksong. Her official description reads: a lithe dancer, wielding a gilded pin, the traditional weapon of Falloom. Lace is a dangerous foe, cloaked in mystery, who'll delight at causing Hornet's swift, skewered demise. This description could end up being misleading, but more on that later. What exactly is her role? Here's my theory. She wants to kill Hornet in order to get money to buy a game. What game, you ask? Well, let me tell you about today's sponsor. Have you ever thought about what would happen if Okami and Dead Cells had a steamy affair? Well, then I got just the game for you. GetsuFumaDen Undying Moon is the newest of the new for people who are into roguelike games, and this game is out now on PC and Switch, and let me tell you a bit about it now. Every playthrough is different, and only some of the progress you've made is carried over when you die in the form of upgrades for weapons, for example. You go through different stages inspired by Japanese art and culture and fight difficult enemies and bosses. And when I play the game I normally sprint through the area and just look for the umbrella. Yes, the umbrella. I mean look at this. Look at this! Also, the more damage you do, the more blue particle effects appear around you, making you stronger and more demon-like in a way. But naturally, there are also the aforementioned bosses, and they're fun. I mean, look at this dude. This boy clearly has some anger issues, and it is your duty to find a way to make it realize the error of its ways by mercilessly slaughtering it. There's also this dragon dude that totally obliterated me when I fought it. And all in all, this game is fun to play if you're into swift and hard combat and into roguelites. Also, yes, you can teabag on your enemies. That said, click the link in the description or the pinned comment to get the game, and thanks to GetsuFumaDen Undying Moon for sponsoring this video. Now back to the video. Naturally, this was not my theory, but it was just a segue into the sponsorship, so now for my real theory, let's first take a look at her dialogue from the first fight in the Deep Docks. So we can see, while Hornet has always upheld a more honorable tone with the knight, Lace is really mean. I mean, like, damn, who hurt you? But there will be a reason to come back to this in just a bit. But before that, we can also see that she wears a gilded pin, which is the traditional weapon of Falloom. This also likely means that she's from the Gilded City, which will be overrun with cultists, and will probably be just under the Shining Citadel, which will be home to the royal family of Falloom, if there is such a thing. These Emperors of Swords would also be the ones controlling the Silksong, aka the song that controls the people of Falloom like puppets. How, you ask? They're not only weapons, you see, at least not the one Lace has. Lace uses it here to control the white butterflies, like a conductor of an orchestra. So it can be assumed that someone is currently up there at the peaks of Falloom, conducting the Silksong. So the Silksong probably needs 3 pieces to work. Silk from the Weavers, a certain ancient melody, namely the Silksong, which we discussed in this video, and someone who conducts it and plays it for all eternity. And with Lace also being able to conduct, it can be assumed that maybe she has royal blood, a princess of Falloom, just like Hornet is the princess protector of Hallownest. This would yet again be a nice way to weave the fates of the two closer together. However, the royalty factor is not necessary for what follows. In fact, I do believe that there's more to her than that, as the second fight might hint at. But more on that in a bit. So here comes the plot twist. Lace could be lying. How, you ask? Well, let's take a look at the first line of her dialogue again. How sad, a little spider has fallen from its cage. There's something odd here. How does she know that we fell down? I mean, she could conclude that we escaped somehow because we stand in front of her, but knowing that we fell down makes it seem like she knows what happened. Let's take a look at what exactly saves us. A butterfly. A butterfly breaks the seal of binding so we can escape. A butterfly just like the ones she controls. And for the longest time, I thought this was a mere coincidence. But it could also not be one, because we know she is able to control the butterflies, so maybe she aided Hornet in her escape. But why? Why would she do this? As mentioned before, Lace is a conductor, and maybe, just like Hornet is needed to prolong the Silksong, Lace might be the one needed to be the conductor for the Silksong. A princess, or just a tool, used to prolong the curse. It is only natural to assume that such a striking character like Lace would not participate in this. She does not want to waste away to keep up a curse that only helps the higher-ups to reign supreme. So she orchestrated, quite literally, this attack to free Hornet. And now, just like Hornet did in Green Path, she wants to test the main character. Test if we can truly save Farloom, and, most importantly for her, truly save herself. But what about the second battle? Well, it is likely that this place hides the secret of Lace's powers, Lace's origin. So this fight could yet again be a parallel to Hollow Knight, since if we beat her, we might be able to uncover the truth of Lace's heritage, of the white butterflies, the white flowers, and the Silksong. A truth so close to her that it hurts. So she would give it her all in the second fight. And I'm not sure if she will become an outspoken ally. As of now, it is unsure whether she only wants to save herself, or whether her tone, for example, is also just a facade. But given all we have discussed now, I'm leaning towards thinking that this theory could end up being true. But please let me know your opinions in the comments. Do you think she's royalty or just a tool? Do you think she truly is an antagonist, or is there something true about my theory? So I hope we can start a discussion in the comments. Either way, thanks as always to my lovely Patreons for supporting me, and as of writing this, I will be able to play Elden Ring in 10 hours, so bye Panada, I'll see you in 20 years!